Lomax has officially signed a 2-year deal with the Western Force boys. I'll come to you, Reedy. Big news.
Well, not entirely unexpected though, Braith, because he didn't really have a home in rugby league, did he? I mean, the door was closed on him effectively because no other clubs wanted him apart from Melbourne. So it's not a surprise he's gone to rugby union. I think this was always expected to happen once the court case was settled. Western Force, good luck to him. I think their average crowd's about 5,000, so that'll be fun.
Dog, can I ask you, where does the Western Force sit as a franchise?
I think they're rubbish. To be honest, I think they're rubbish. They were kicked out a while back, and I think Twiggy threw some money in, didn't they? They came back. So they're a bit of a rabble. No one seems to know anything about them on the East Coast. You know what? There's no way I'll sit here right now and say that he will survive 2 years over there.
You don't think he'll survive?
No, Zac will be back in rugby league inside the 2 years.
Well, he's lost to the game now. Did the Eels, what do you call it, pettiness cost him a spot in the NRL, or was it the right decision? You know, I'm coming to you again,
Braith, I was very open about saying I think he should be back in rugby league. I thought Parramatta should have taken the offer. You can argue, I don't look, pettiness, it's your word. I'm not using that word, pettiness. I think
I'm not using it myself. I'm just putting it out there because some people do think
they
that.
Do. I'm sure people in Melbourne. I'm sure people in Melbourne think that way. And look, I think he should be playing rugby league. I'm disappointed he's not playing rugby league, and we can argue about you know, whether it affects our game or not to lose him. I think every time you lose a star, it takes a little bit of the spotlight off your game, I guess, to an extent. Rugby's going to parade him around tomorrow. He's going to do a press conference. Good on him.
You said that last week, sorry, boy. You said that last week, and I disagree, and I still do. I actually think it's more a blight in rugby union. I really do.
Well, it's not a great reflection on them either.
Because, you know, you got to look at it. You got Suoliti, Crichton, Wanganita, Arce, now Lomax. They're going to walk into the Australian World Cup.
He won't walk into the Australian World Cup.
Well, whatever. The other three, no? Yes?
The other three probably
Okay,
will.
so you're going to have four, possibly four. He might not walk into it, but you got four guys that have left rugby league, and if you put the shoe on the other foot, there's no rugby union players, and I've got a list here. I don't even know. Carter Gordon's one of them, but I could go on with a few of them. They could leave rugby union and make the Australian rugby league team. You know, it's not going to happen. So to me, it says a lot about where rugby union's at and where rugby league's at. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I want to congratulate Zac. Like, at the end of the day, perspective. Zac Lomax is not left on the streets with no job. You know what I mean? He's been paid big money from rugby league over the past couple of years, and now he's got a great opportunity to play for Western Force and the Australian team in a World Cup. So it's not all poor me. The kid's, you know, he's not been left out in the lurch. He's still got a pretty good life.
But I think it's very unfortunate the way it's happened, Braith, and I think everyone's got to accept some blame for that. And, you know, we can talk about whether Parramatta or Melbourne are fault, but...
Do you still think it hurts our game, though?
I think it hurts, yes.
Yeah.
Because, Braith, every time you just mentioned some blokes there, what, about five of them?
But has it hurt our game?
Look, it hasn't decimated rugby league, but every time you take a star away from the game, I think a little bit of the game goes with that. Yes, I think it does affect the game.
Can I tell you, Reedy?
Not to a large extent,
to a degree.
But to a degree.
I know that because we lose players and we worry, and it hurt me when Wendell went to rugby union. Right? That was the biggest name that I had, but it hurts their game more. When there's a kid that's played it since he was 5 and he's there, and I watch it because my kids go to private schools and they all go then grade 10, 11, 12, they bring in the exports. It hurts their game.
It's on sneeze anyway, Gordy. The game's on sneeze anyway.
Well, it's even.
You know, they've got a World Cup next year.
If we lose one player, i.e. Zac Lomax, and in return we get a club that wants to enforce a contract, I think we'll so be. He can go. I think we earned more honour in the game of rugby league through Parramatta's behaviour than we lose if Zac Lomax goes to rugby union. And I'm with you, Braith. The fact that every rugby league player leaves and goes to union, virtually walks straight into the Wallabies camp. I mean, that just shows the lack of depth that the Wallabies have. And if I was the Wallabies, I'd be concerned about my juniors, who I'm trying to nurture, who have played union all their lives, and now, guess what? You're out the back door, POQ, we got Zac Lomax.
And it shows how strong we are. Let's have a look at what Zac had to say today. The dream of one day representing the Wallabies on a truly international stage and potentially competing at a Rugby World Cup is a powerful motivation. Rudy, what do you think of this?
I think that's tripe. And I'm just actually, I'm back. You know, I'm back.
You on his back last week.
You're off him now.
No, well, this disappoints me because I have backed Zac to an extent through this whole process. But that, I mean, that's just a shot at rugby league. It may be inadvertent, but you've got to be smarter than that. To say a truly international stage, you know, give me a break. You're leaving the game, go.
They just put it in there. They changed it from Melbourne last week.
No one backs Zac Lomax.
You jump ship
no one backs Zac Lomax more than Peter V'landys in the past 3 months, right? No one cares more about international rugby league than Peter V'landys. If I'm Peter V'landys and I read that quote, I'm saying, go see us.
support
See
it.
us.
Just
It's pathetic.
Mind you, Reedy, we were saying this the
I know
whole
you
time.
were. Yeah.
But
And again, I think this is really poor advice he's received because you can't tell me his management wouldn't have seen that quote and signed off on
Do
it.
they?
And to
Do
me,
they,
that's
bro? No,
really...
no,
no. No
Well, to me,
comment.
No,
that's
Brave.
really poor.
Do
I
they?
said
You mean,
when-
so like they'd run it by the client.
Of course, you have to. Yes. Yes.
That's a middle finger to rugby league, though.
Yeah.
And that's a shame on the way out, because Zac Lomax had a very, very successful rugby league career. And
He'll probably want to come back one day, Doggy.
Those first two words get to me. The dream. What dream did Zac have of rugby union? He wanted to play in the Melbourne Storm 5 days ago. So how was this a dream? A dream is something you aspire to since you were a kid.
We all have dreams. Mate.
Like my dream is to sit in that chair, Gordon. But, I'm not going to go on there and say it.
No, you took Buzz's
Not with
chair.
that jacket, mate.
Took your mate's spot. Can we put this to bed now? Can we put the Lomax saga to bed?
I'd like to
For a
think.
little while.
But good luck to
He'll
him.
come back.
Yeah, good luck to him,
Good luck
honestly.
to him. And I
though.
hope he does play in the
He'll be
World
back, though. Look, down the track, he signed 2 years. That's when his deal with Parramatta ends, so he'll be back.
Last week you said he wouldn't be back. Anyway,